Hi Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your November 11th, 2021, 11/11 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. How will Aquarius be affected by November 11th? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. So at the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the sun shining through, and that's the happiest card in the whole entire deck, so that's brilliant. And then we have the devil coming forward, which is Capricorn energy. So if we're born on the cusp with Capricorn, or we have Capricorn energy within our natal chart, that comes through very strongly. But there's almost this sense of, I can't be blessed. Like, I can't have good things happen to me. So we're going to have to examine that. We're going to have to look at that a bit more. Then we have the Emperor, which is Aries energy. If we have Aries, again, in our natal chart, or we have Aries within our lives, they're going to come through very powerfully in our inner selves, just as Capricorns to come through very powerfully at our root. And then we have the Empress. Oh my gosh, I love that. I absolutely, oh my gosh. Okay, so you have the Emperor and the Empress. Whenever I have the King and the Queen from the same suit in the same deck, and now you have the ultimate King and Queen, right? That's a soulmate connection, a true love connection. That's a powerful, brilliant connection coming forward. And this is just going to be an intense time. We then have the Page of Cups, which is water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. Again, if we have this within our natal chart, it comes through very powerfully emotionally. But there's also a sense of being a student of our emotions, like learning how to let our heart lead. Then we have Temperance, which is Sagittarius energy, and we have Judgment, which is, well, it's not any of the zodiac energy, but again, if we have Sagittarius within our natal chart, that comes through very powerfully here. I love it that we have almost all major arcana cards and 2 court cards and only 1 regular card. So we have the Page of Swords, that's us. We're represented by the swords in the minor arcana. We're represented by the star in the major arcana. And there's a sense here of us being a student of who we are, of where we want to be, of the bigger picture of what we're going after. And the Two of Cups is the minor arcana Lover's card. It's union and love and connection and greater understanding. It moves us to our energy to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. And that's the Princess of Cups. We have to be mindful of our hearts taking over. It's very interesting because the Princess of Cups equates to the Page of Cups in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. And so here we're going to find that even though we are a student of our hearts, we are still a student of our hearts. We have to look at things. We have to evaluate things. We have to step back from things and not act instantaneously. Our heart is going to lead us to some extraordinary places, but we can't let it just take over and let us become, chaotic, only emotion people, that type of thing. So here we're going to need to be mindful of that. We're also going to need to be mindful of emotional manipulation. It moves us to our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. It's my favorite. It's one of my absolute favorite chakra cards, which is holistic health. This is the root chakra. This is holistically connecting with ourselves. It's saying, who am I spiritually? Who am I, as an Aquarian? Who am I? And so this is our root chakra. This is getting to the root of ourselves. But this is also very much a healing, very much a connection with our bodies. What do I need to feed my body so my body feels strong and capable and powerful? What do I need to drink so, again, my body is energized and, well focused? What is it that my body needs? What is it that I need emotionally, spiritually, that has been lacking? How do I connect with myself? How do I see myself again? How do I fall in love with me? Holistic health is taking a different route. It's maybe being more down to earth. Maybe we could say more hippie-ish if we want to, but it's connecting with our earth. It's connecting with ourselves. It's opening up that door. And as we do so, we have this November 11th coming forward, 11/11 on the calendar. And 11/11 is also on the day of the first quarter new moon in Aquarius. So it's going to be powerful for us because the first quarter new moon, not new moon, the first quarter moon, there we go, is in Aquarius. And it brings love to the table, and it brings our dreams to the table, and it starts having us look at us. And the first quarter moon has us assessing, looking, seeing, gaining an understanding of. The 11/11 combination is a powerful number combination. It's a master number, and it connects us with our angels and our spirit guides. Historically, on the 11th day of the 11th month is when the armistice was signed. The day of remembrance is here. And so here we have the ending of the fighting of World War I, known as the Great War. And that has a memory to it because it was signed on the 11th hour Paris time, on the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918. And a day when the greatest horror that the world had seen up until that time came. We have a memory of that, a cellular, spiritual, earth memory whenever we have huge traumas that happen. And that was definitely one of them. This is going to be a time where we need to honor. We need to honor ourselves. We need to honor the path that we walk. We need to honor peace and connection and heart and soul. The Commonwealth gives 1 minute of silence, is observed on the 11th hour of the 11th day on the 11th month. And if we could do that, if we could maybe not do it at the same time as everybody else, but stand in silence and connect just for 1 minute with ourselves and the energy that we're feeling, that would be astoundingly powerful. Now, also, the 11th of November is known as God's Day. It is global observation of God's Day, meaning that all the gods, all the religions are honored and worshipped, not worshipped, but honored and respected on this day. We also have here angelically, 11/11 is telling us that our angels are connecting with us and to pay attention. Pay attention to our surroundings, pay attention to our emotions. Messages are coming our way, and we are a student, so we are getting those messages. We are gaining this understanding. As star seeds, 11/11 appears as we are awakening to our spiritual purpose and understanding our mission and connecting with our mission here on Earth. Spiritually, 11/11 has us reflecting on why we're here and where we're going. 11/11 represents the spiraling twin strands of our DNA coming into consciousness. And so there is power here. 11/11 also represents a time, November 11th, of doorways being open. Doorways to peace, doorways to connection, doorways to understanding. Spiritually, we are being told to be conscious and to be aware, and also to wake up and pay attention to our deeper selves. And so the sun shines within us. Blessings come forward around us. Can we see them? We are going to be tied during this time to a lot of hurts and pains, to what people expected us to be, what we expected ourselves to be, the time frame that we gave ourselves to do things. And when you make a time frame, you always are optimistic. There we go. That's the word. You're always looking at it and saying, oh no, it'll be easy. Life is difficult. We need to give ourselves time. We also need to give ourselves respect for what we have gone through, what we are living through, what we are, and how we are becoming. When we have Capricorn coming in, when we have the devil coming in, it connects us to the earth quite powerfully. This is going to be a time on this day where we feel very connected to the earth. If we can let ourselves shine, we will shine as bright as the sun. We will find that we start to solve problems, we start to see solutions, we start to, move forward. We are a powerhouse on this day, and we can utilize that to no end. But we can also be chained to what other people expect of us, how other people see us, what it is that we're supposed to be, where it is that we're supposed to be. It's time to get out of our heads and out of our worry. So often I hear, I can't do this, I'm too old. I can't do this, I'm, not this enough, not that enough. But age plays a huge factor in what we think we can do and what we think we can't do. And Spirit's saying here, stop. Stop. Let ourselves be. Let ourselves embrace our voice and our visions and the way that we want to move forward. No matter of our age, we're not milk. We don't reach an expiration date and have to be thrown out. We're beautiful, powerful beings that need to be embraced, that need to look at our dreams and know that the world is changing. There's a lady on YouTube that I follow, and she is 80-something years old and has this beautiful channel and publishes and, found this path much later in life. Does she let that stop her? No, she doesn't. Let us not give limitations to our dreams. Let us shine, because we have the Emperor and the Empress. We have the soulmate of power and creation coming forward. And through the power of our will, we are creating something extraordinary. Why do we deny it? Why won't we embrace it? Why don't we see it? This is a time where we have more major arcana cards than we don't. And yes, this is an only major arcana deck, so that does make sense. But we have, if we discount our root, we have more major arcana cards than we don't. And so here, there is power. This is going to be a big time for us. This is going to be a time where bigger things happen, things that we can't ignore. We're creating something, and we're birthing it forward into the world. Now, it can be literally, we can be pregnant, we can be, having a child in whichever way that comes about, but we can also be, focusing on children that we're raising, but we can also be creating something beautiful that lives within us, something passionate that is birthed into the world after carrying it for so long, after worry and doubt and fear and chaos. We just have to claim our power. Claim a voice we didn't realize we lost. Claim a power we didn't realize was such a part of us and that we needed. And we become students of our hearts, students of our passion, students of where we want to be. We start to find inspiration in the most unlikely of places. That is when our angels and our spirit guides talk to us, where we start to see it ourselves moving forward. There's healing here. The waters run high, absolutely. There's chaos, there's doubt, there's a sense of can I, should I, will I? But there's also a beauty in letting our hearts move forward, connecting emotionally, knowing that yes, life is about suffering. And they say that in Buddhism, but it's the best amalgamation to what we have, because life will bring us pain. To love is to lose, to laugh is to cry. There's just these polar opposites of existence that are around being able to feel. And so here we become a student of the world that we want to live in, of the way that we want to express ourselves, of our dreams and our hearts and our desires. And we know that we are bold, we know that we are brave, and it moves us to temperance, to balance. It moves us to this place of going deeper in us, to seeing what we love and seeing what we need, and finding a balance and a beauty within ourselves. We cannot be all the masculine energy or all the feminine energy. We need to have it balanced. We need to have a harmonizing sense of where we're headed and what we're going through and where it is that we want to be within our lives. Balance is important. And balance is going to be so easy to lose. So easy to think is no big deal. Temperance. Harmony. The harmony of our emotions, knowing that as we pour the cups into each other, the water never goes away. There's always more that is given. And yet some things evaporate into the ether. And it brings us to judgment. It brings us to a place of hibernation. It brings us to understanding that a part of ourselves has been asleep. And it has been asleep for quite some time. Now we're being awakened. Now we're hearing this call from our angels, from our spirit guides to walk forward, to go after, to embrace, to be emboldened. And it moves us to being a student of our passion, what we desire, to hold vigilance of what we want from our lives and where it is that we want to be. We're cutting through doubts and fears and negativity. We're seeing ourselves openly and honestly, and we're not being held back. This becomes a time of determination and insight and ideas. This becomes a time of learning the depth and the breadth of our voice and what we need to say, what we want to say, how we're moving forward, what we're going after. And it brings us to the Two of Cups. It brings us to unity. It brings us to love. It brings us to a connection of our hearts and a beauty of our souls. It brings us to hope. It brings us to healing. And that's what also we're a student of. How our hearts and our minds come together. How we're able to stand forward in our truth, but also in like this innocence of ourselves, this sense of discovering and determination and an insight that opens up the door and leads us forward. That brings us to something more, but also has us more present within our lives than we have been in quite some time. Our subconscious chakra energy, not chakra energy, our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the Death card. Now this is Scorpio energy, but these are also lies and deceits. Things that we thought were swept under the rug can be coming up during this time, most definitely. But we're also going to need things to be honest. We're going to need to air things out. Our subconscious chakra energy is determination, which is the solar plexus chakra. We're determined to move forward. We're determined to go after. We're determined for more. And it feels as if we're going against our heart the whole entire time, or going against the emotions of the world, or what everybody else expects. We can feel chained to that. Everybody else's expectations. But what are our expectations for our life? It moves us to our subconscious rooted self. And that's the Lovers. It's falling in love with life again. Embracing the passion, and not just embracing what we think we want to see, but embracing what's truly there. Being open and honest with ourselves about where we want to go and how we want to move forward and what it is that we desire and what it is that we really don't. It's not being drowned in other people's realities. It's embracing our own. It moves us to our subconscious inner self, which is the Eight of Swords. And Spirit's saying here, don't be within your own head. We can talk ourselves right out of this time, and some of us will, most definitely. Doubting and fearing and overthinking and overanalyzing. And that's fine, that's where we are in our journey. But what Spirit's saying here is be aware. Be aware that subconsciously we're going to be saying I can't instead of this magnificently powerful I can. That we're going to think, oh no, this is for other people, and yet it is for us. We're going to think we're held back by these limitations, whether they be disabilities or, not knowing enough or, whatever it is. And yet Spirit's saying, no, that's not the case. We're not caged away. We were just told we were. It moves us to our subconscious emotional self, which is the Five of Pentacles. Having to face an attitude of poverty. Subconsciously, there's a sense of, I'm not worthy of this. And it's like, why? Why aren't you worthy? So blessings can come to others, but they can't come to us? That's nonsense. Absolute nonsense. The Five of Pentacles is also saying, embracing what makes us uncomfortable. Being out in the cold is never pleasant. But if we look at something that makes us uncomfortable, and we realize that our lives have become always about comfort, always about not security. Security is a good thing, most definitely. Comfort is a good thing. But it's always about not breaking out of that comfort zone. And now we're going to see ourselves breaking out of that comfort zone. Facing the limitations that we subconsciously had, that were spoken over us when we were little, that were what defined us for too long. And now we find ourselves moving forward, going after what we want, what we need. And it moves us to our subconscious public arena self, and it's the Magician. Of course it is. As above, so below. As you believe it, so it becomes. And now it's in our hands to know and to feel and to embrace how we want to move forward. But the thing is, we always embrace the winning, right? As we stand before the altar of our existence, it's like, this is how I'm going to win. This is how I'm going to succeed. This is going to be absolutely brilliant. But it's also standing before the altar of our existence and knowing that there's hard roads ahead. That there's times of pain and fear and frustration and anger and disappointment and, just wondering why. Wondering why we're even here, wondering why it even matters. But as we embrace our elements, as we embrace the earth that sustains us, along with the water and the air and the fire, we start to see a purpose. We start to see a power. And that power to us, as we see it, that gets to be the spark that leads us to more. As we stand before the altar of our existence, we get to claim the space that we live in, not just feeling like we take it up. All right, Aquarius. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the intensity of this November 11/11. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aquarius. And may you have a blessed 11/11.